Creative Magic What's up? This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a six-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I'm here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi, Sarah Mack here, supporting you to become a six-figure creative by selling high ticket through authentic storytelling guided by astrology. And I am thrilled is an understatement. I've been nerding out so hard preparing this training, this part 3 of my series for you. And we're going to dive into how to speak to the real needs of your most compatible soul client using your descendant or your 7th house in your astrology chart. So this is number 3 of a 3-part series. If you haven't listened to part 1 and 2, go back and listen to them, because in part 1, I laid out really the framework and the concept behind this particular part of your astrology chart and why it is the cheat codes to making sure you stop talking to all the wrong people. You really dial in on the people that you were literally put on this earth to serve. And then part 2, I'm going to talk about your rising sign and how to create leadership content that's really going to stand out to them. And we're going to take it to whole other layers of depth in this training right now. And I'm going to show you how to actually plug that in to your copywriting. How freaking cool is this? That astrology can help us make money. It can help us get to clarity and impact so much faster than just throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to figure it out on our own little our own turtle-paced timeline. So you better be excited about this. And remember, there is a worksheet, so you can download that in the link in the comments. Make sure you get your hands on that. It's so good. There are some extra content prompts in there for you based on your unique placement. So before we dive into your descendant, let's talk about some of the mistakes that I made in my copy and content strategy early on in my business when I was figuring things out, when I didn't have my astrology chart to give me that fast track cheat code. And I see this in so many clients and so many entrepreneurs because we have to figure this out, right? So the number one mistake is not being good at speaking to the real needs and the true desires of your soulmate client. And this is honestly like the most important concept when it comes to copywriting. And it's so easy, especially when you create in the way that I do, and so many of us do, which is from the heart, which is creative self-expression. It's, large volume of content. We have to train ourselves to be really, really focused and not just like flailing around and writing whatever the hell we feel like writing, which obviously we can. Our platforms are self-expression. We can do whatever we want. There doesn't need to be any rules. But what I'm talking about is the strategic skill set that's going to lead to high ticket paying clients on repeat consistently from your content. So if that's what you want, you're in the right place. So the other mistake is that we're, going to be talking about today to make sure you stop doing it is taking broad concepts and not painting clear, specific examples of what you really mean, because you don't realize how many gajillion possible ways there are to interpret some of the language that you use online, which is why it's so important to train yourself to anchor it into the specifics of your own life. And we all resist this because it's vulnerable, right? It's vulnerable to take a slice of our own life and put it up there on our feed for the whole world to see. And, it's a whole thing to navigate. Well, which parts do I talk about? Which parts do I not talk about? How do I talk about the parts that I should be sharing? What do I want to share? What is fun to share? What isn't fun to share? Is it because it's, I'm just scared and I'm meeting my growth edge, or is it not aligned? Like, so many constant internal questions and turmoil and navigation that goes on every single time we create a piece of content, right? Here's an example just to kind of anchor this lesson from my own life. I definitely went through phases in the early stages of my coaching business when I was figuring things out and I was trying to help everyone to make money from their online content. And this is a very, very vast group of people, right? Until I started doing this work of really boiling down my direct experience and results and asking myself, well, what has specifically worked best for me? And the answer to that question was selling high ticket coaching. And that was what really moved the needle for me. And that was what made sense to me in my business because I was, really drawn to it intuitively. I had no freaking clue what the coaching industry was before I started attracting coaches as copy clients when I was a copywriter. I was in the middle of a massive burnout. And I remember kind of how I discovered this concept of really fine-tuning my messaging and my storytelling in my brand. I was really burnt out. I was in the UK, sitting in the tiny little spare bedroom in my mum's cottage back in Tunbridge Wells. I just got back from 6 months traveling in Bali and in India. I had been so sick. I had caught at least 4 different rounds of diarrhea causing stomach bugs in the past few months. I was so skinny. And I remember I got home and everyone was like, you look great. And I was like, I literally am the sickest I have ever been. And I was depressed. I hadn't seen my boyfriend in 6 months. And I had just started making money as a freelance copywriter and it was going well. I had made the vision board to be making 2K months. I was on my way to it. I think I was making more than $1,000 a month. Whatever that number was, it was enough for me to know I could afford to get on a plane back to Canada to reunite with my man. And I remember sitting on the little camping table, in between working on my copywriting clients, staring at my vision board with like life in New York, reunited with my man, like pictures of Canadian residency, US green card, all of these things plastered on it. By the way, all of those things came true. And I discovered this workshop on branding. And this is where I first discovered these principles to really hone in and think strategically on what you're best at, what people want from you the most, and what you can make the most money from with the least investment of your time and money, probably. But, I was writing, I was a digital creator. There wasn't that much financial upfront investment other than in my own education. So that's when I really started thinking like this. And the next step I took was narrowing my writing gigs down to focus on sales copywriting. Before I was doing editing, I was doing, any type of writing gig that pretty much anyone asked me to do. And I noticed that the sales copywriting gigs paid the best and that I was really good at it. They were the gigs I did the fastest because you usually needed a lower volume of content than, for example, editing somebody's book or ebook or whatever. And I went through a few different iterations of applying this way of thinking in my businesses. And I launched a copy agency targeted specifically at writing sales copy for coaches because that was the work that had been really allowing me to take off as a freelance writer in applying this way of thinking. And then I launched my coaching business. And after a brief foray with teaching mindset coaching and money mindset coaching for creatives and artists, I eventually brought back in my knowledge of brand and business strategy. And by then I had been having 5-figure months. I'd had my first multi-5-figure month. And that had happened for me by selling high ticket coaching. So, as I was continuing to position my offers, even though I'm sure you've heard the story of or maybe you haven't, but if you've been in my world for a while, I tell this story a lot of how I sold one program and had a completely $0 flopped launch. Then I went and created a new program, what I thought was a new program, but with this new knowledge of positioning and specific branding and storytelling and targeted client language. And, it sold out and I had a 10K group program launch. And that was what actually contributed to my highest month ever, which was a 24K month while I was traveling around Joshua Tree. And I it was the same course. It was the exact same course that I had channeled. I had just learned, after that flop launch, I went back and was like, where did I go wrong? Because I'd had so much success selling so many other things before, but in, evolving and trying new things, I had forgot. I forgot what I knew, or I hadn't applied it effectively. And to be honest, I was going through some personal stuff during that time and I got sidetracked, which is why I always hammer on so much about how important it is to have a mindset practice. Because if our mindset is not in the game, our copy is not in the game either. In order to have really on point, high level, potent, effective content creation, we have to be on point, focused content creators. And these are systems that you can have in place with habits that set you up for success with that, without it needing to feel like hard work, without it needing to take a ton of time or energy and stress and scratching your head. And these are things we can get really, really good at when we apply the right habits and systems and processes. So I'd gone through that process of getting into the specifics of, yes, of course I could help so many people with their online content. I could make so many people make money with so many different things. But what was that top layer of cream, the really nutritious part of the conversations that I am capable of having? That's what you should be focused on for your high ticket offer. Not just doing anything and helping anyone, but really getting good at identifying, what are you the best at? What do you have the most experience and the most knowledge and the best results around? That's the type of specificity that you want to be bringing into your copy. That's really going to make the difference in attracting compatible clients who really want what you are truly capable of offering, and having copy that is specific and doesn't blend into the noise and doesn't get misrepresented. Because when your work is misrepresented online because of that lack of specificity, that's when you end up getting sales calls and DM inquiries from people who are not the right fit for you. And that leads to frustration after frustration after frustration of awkward sales calls, people saying no, people ghosting you, or even worse, people signing up and then having a terrible experience and not getting results and then hating on you and it draining your life every single time you get on a phone call with these people. So you can see how crucially important it is to get this targeting right and to really dial in your copy. So, when I put out these words and phrases, these stories, these specifics, it's going to bring in my people, the ones who are going to be an easy yes for my high ticket offer, no matter if I'm charging $1,000 or $20,000, people who are going to love working with me, people who are going to get massive, massive, massive value out of my time and energy, because this is truly what the creme de la creme of what I can bring to the table. Plus, then I discovered astrology later on in my business, and it's just been confirming this all along and giving me even more conviction around the things that I was intuitively led to, because I've got my North Node in Taurus in the 9th house. So this is very fitting to be focused on high-end services that pay really well, that create stability in very pleasurable ways through teaching and guiding and spiritual expansion and connection. It's crazy how much business guidance our astrology chart can give us. So now let's dive in and get some of that for you, shall we? So in this training, I want to teach you how you can leverage this new knowledge of your rising sign that you got from the last training. And now we're going to add to it some of the juicy details that your descendant sign, or your 7th house, which is the point opposite your rising sign on your astrology chart, can actually create some super targeted copy that will speak directly to your most compatible clients by identifying their needs and identifying their unique desires. Are you excited? I'm so excited to share this with you. So what you're about to learn about your Descendant is the key lessons that your most compatible client is learning in their life right now, the common issues that they are coming up against again and again and again, and their key desires. Like, what are their true drivers, the things that turn them on, the things that make them part with their credit cards, the things that move them to take action, to create uncomfortable change, because this is just what their soul craves. Do you wish you knew exactly how to write a sales post to attract soulmate clients using the most powerful gifts from your astrology chart? Well, guess what? Now you can learn how for free. I'm going to share my cosmic copywriting secrets that have helped people to instantly turn strangers on the internet into buyers for their high-ticket offers. In my 5-part training series, Cosmic Attraction Copywriting, you'll learn the mindset switch that takes my clients from feeling confused about their content or not feeling fully safe to share their story online to making sales more easily and naturally than ever before, with the astrological placement that unlocks a new level of depth in your storytelling that builds trust 10 times faster with the clients who are genuinely a very aligned fit to work with you. Plus, the messaging tweaks that take my clients from attracting people who can't afford it to easy sales into 5-figure offers with no sales calls. And you'll get clarity on the 3 things your soulmate clients need to hear from you consistently in your message to feel confident and excited to buy your offer. You'll also get my writing process prompts to share your story in a powerful way that stands out to the right people and leads to ready to buy clients popping up into your DMs asking to work with you. Click the link in the description for instant access to Cosmic Attraction Copywriting. And you're going to learn these super potent and powerful pieces of insight about your most compatible client. This is the person that you have been designed to complement and to benefit because of your unique gifts and who you are and everything that you embody. How freaking cool is that? So I'm going to show you how to plug these insights into your copy. Plus, remember, when you download the worksheet, you'll get some custom content prompts as well. So this is really important for you to keep in mind as you get your hands on this information. Remember, your client might not yet have awareness of their key lessons. So do not necessarily lead straight up with it in your content. But you can use this knowledge in your storytelling by painting the picture of what their life looks like with this lesson playing out for them in ways that are as specific as possible to your soul client's life and in words and images that they will instantly recognize. This is truly powerful copywriting. Then you're going to speak to their desires in all of your content, and any language that you're using to sell your offer, make sure there's a desire connected right next to it. Don't even mention a single feature of your offer. Never mention your offer without tacking it on to one of their key desires, preferably in language that they actually use to describe it. So remember, sell the result, the solution, and the desires, not the features, not the lesson, not the challenges or the struggles, or the modality that you use to get them there. So let me give you an example for my own astrology so that then you can take this and apply it to what you're about to learn about your placement. So as you know, I'm a Virgo rising, and my leadership, where I excel, is through service and through habits. But I don't sell habits. Nobody wants to buy habits, right? Clients don't drop 5K on a package with me because they're excited about healthy habits. Oh, no, no, no. So my job is to make it so clear that what and how I support them with will result in the things that they desire, which are connection, expression, and creativity. And again, you're going to see how I do this. You're going to take these principles, and then I want you to, this is a technique I use with all of my clients, which is to ask yourself, if I picked up a camera and I could take a photo or a video of exactly what it looked like in my client's life when they are experiencing what they desire or they're experiencing their challenge, how would I describe it? You always want to anchor it down into a specific snapshot of their life. And if that is flummoxing you, use your own life, right? Like, what did that look like for you? Because these specific details of your own life, that's what's going to attract the people who resonate with you, who share your values, who are your most compatible clients, and they're going to get the most out of your work. So the soul client key lessons for my soul client, which is a descendant in Pisces. My descendant is in Pisces, so that's the energy that represents my most compatible soul client. So it's courage, intuitive wisdom, creative expression, and boundaries. Common issues: leaky boundaries, lack of self-trust, undervaluing self and their work, and being ungrounded. And their desires are connection, expression, and creativity. So I know that my leadership as a Virgo rising is around leading through service and healthy habits. So here's an example about how I take these concepts and apply them to my copywriting. The only time I'll mention the habits and the service elements of my leadership is really as a small bridge between talking about the desired result and naming the recognizable challenges that they're currently having. This is not like these are not the hooks. These are not the headlines. These are not even the main body of the text or the caption. This is just letting people know, like, by the way, this is my modality. This is like the breath work, the mindset work, the angle, the topics of conversation that I'm going to be using to get you there. People don't really care, right? They don't really care. This is very unconscious. They're going to be attracted to you because you are the right fit for them, but they're going to be attracted to you not because of, obviously the things that you're really good at. They're going to be attracted to you because of how you embody what it is that they desire. So that's what you need to make really clear in your copy. So here's an example. I would start with something like, do you wish you were signing clients into your high ticket offers more consistently? Do you wish your sales conversations felt more authentic and less icky? Do you wish you were attracting clients who you love and feel deep soul connections with and who are ready to invest at high ticket prices? So you can see how I'm speaking to that consistency, to authenticity, to connection, and then I anchor it in the specifics of exactly what the solution is that I provide, which is the high ticket client attraction. So next I would go on, this would be like the little bridge sentence. Like, I built my coaching business to 6 figures selling high ticket by focusing on the simple question, who can I serve today? And developing feel-good content creation habits, right? Like, that's the little bridge sentence that's like, oh, I can help you. Here's the result that I created, and here's how I did it. So it's like a curiosity spike, but it's not the main selling point. You're teaching them, like, do you have this problem? Do you want this result? This is what got me that result. So you're educating people about whatever it is that you have decided to offer, whatever modality, whatever, teaching path you have designed in your offer. You can educate them by attaching it to their desires. And then they're going to start to think, okay, I'm hearing that this is what got her the result that I want. So now I want that, right? It's stoking that desire for your work, and you're building trust through showing that you understand them and through showing that you have embodied what it is that they desire. So then I would move on to, now my content consistently signs dream soulmate clients into my high ticket offers with ease every month through authentic storytelling that's guided by my astrology chart and feels like soul growth and self-expression to create, right? You can see how I've weaved in the specific things that they desire, but I've anchored it into really, really specific solutions. So that's what I'm inviting you to do with these insights. Can you see what I did there? So don't you just love now you have these nuggets, these insights to just like print them out, keep them next to you as you are writing, and make sure that you weave them into every single piece of content and copy that you put out there to sell your high ticket offer. And that message is going to land with them. And it's giving them so much information that not only is going to filter away the people who don't want to do it in the way that you do it, thanks to that clarity and that specificity, but it's going to draw the people who are most compatible with your way of working in deeper and deeper and faster with more and more clarity. Your chart is so deep and so multi-layered when it comes to representing yourself in your business, your branding, your offers and content. There's honestly so much to dive into to get clarity in what you're really here to thrive at, get paid the most for, and make the biggest impact for in your community. So before I dive into walking you through the specific descendant signs, I just want to remind you that if you're loving this, if you know this is the type of support you need in your business, this is exactly what we're going to be doing and diving into really, really deeply in the Cosmic Copy Mastermind, where you'll learn to become a six-figure creative and build a brand by writing compelling copy that's guided by your personal astrology to magnetize those dreamy, compatible soulmate clients on repeat into your high-ticket offers. So I help clients to answer questions like, which of my many, many gifts and talents will work best in a high-ticket offer? And how do I position myself powerfully using my story? Which parts of my story do I need to tell? What does my soulmate client need to understand about me and my work and my offer to trust that I'm the right person to help them get what they want? Which pieces of content move someone from stranger on the internet to long-term soulmate clients inside my high-ticket offers? What's working and what's not working in the online space at the moment? What should I focus on talking about in my content strategy this week? Are my calls to action good enough? Is my sales page going to convert? Am I even talking to the right people? I created this mastermind so you no longer have to waste time asking yourself these questions, and you can get on with crafting highly targeted copy that's going to attract your people so you can get on with it, with doing your life-changing work in the world with the client, as many clients as you want. No more time wasting. Let's get you to the results you're capable of now. My previous mastermind clients have gone from dwindling bank accounts to having 20K stashed and saved while traveling Europe, making 5-figure months, filling and growing a waitlist for her one-on-one 2 times in a row, increasing course launch sales by 7 times after hiring me to help them. So this is really the place to make big moves, get shit done, make a ton of money while having the time of your life doing it. And I'll be there to translate your astrology chart and create custom content prompts for you, as well as give edits and feedback and creative brand strategy tailored to your unique genius and your uniquely compatible soulmate clients, so you become sought after by the right people. So you can click the link in the description or go to withsarahmac.com to apply, and we kick off next week, which I am so excited about. So I'm going to dive into the individual descendant signs. I've put this all in a worksheet for you, so just absorb it, see what bubbles up for you. And again, if you have different placements in these signs, pay attention to some of these themes. Maybe you have these signs in some of the other important parts of your chart that influence your brand and how people like to pay you and your relationships and your relationship with money. So remember to listen to the end to get the action steps for the training today so you can take this insight and run with it to start becoming more visible to your most compatible soul clients. So first we have Aries Descendant, Aries 7th house. So the soul client key lessons are learning independence, collaborative leadership, channeling ambition in healthy ways, not just being that person that's marching ahead in front of everyone else, but learning to do it together and to bring people along for the ride with them. So some of their common issues can be being overbearing, being too pushy, also being afraid to leave, also overexertion with too much of that fiery energy. Their main desires are to spread love, to have a positive impact, and to bring their ideas to life. And not just that, but to do it in their own unique way. Taurus Descendant. The key lessons for this soul client are embracing sensuality and slowness and simplicity. Common issues are stubbornness, being caught up in being too materialistic, or getting stuck in a rut and really needing to shake things up to break into new momentum. Their desires, the things that drive them, are beauty, nature is a really big one, and stability. Gemini Descendant soul client key lessons are being grounded, speaking from the heart, and focusing all of that wild air energy. That's this very intellectual energy. It's very stimulating. So focus is a really big one here. Common issues include overthinking, chasing shiny objects, and overcomplicating things. So their true desires are connection, inspiration, and sharing stories either through written or oral communication, which is really where they are going to have such a good time excelling at when they build those skills and the capacity to do it in a way that feels good. Cancer Descendant, key lessons are dealing with intense emotions, high sensitivity, and being able to find power in vulnerability. Common issues include judgment, being self-indulgent, and not knowing how to or not following through on really honoring their sensitivity. Their key desires are to feel safe, to give and to nurture others, to live in flow, and to channel divine intuitive wisdom. Leo Descendant, key lessons are creative self-expression, finding and living with confidence, and with a sense of play and joy. Common issues can be big ego gets in the way, being too pretentious or caught up in pretentiousness, and having a resistance to being vulnerable and really being able to have that heart-to-heart connection and letting people in. The desires that drive them are giving themselves permission to live with passion, whatever that looks like for them, to really allow themselves to be seen and to be celebrated and to empower others in the process and to have fun in the way that they're doing it all. Virgo Descendant, key soul client lessons are self-acceptance, purity of mind and body, and having an open heart and mind. Common issues are being overly critical, overthinking, obsessive, and caught up in the details to the point that they're just missing the point and it's causing stress and it's getting in the way of them getting what they want. Their desires are to live in connection with nature, to be of service to others and to their community, and to uphold really high standards in their daily work. Libra Descendant soul client key lessons is really all about self-leadership. And the big issues are people pleasing and leaky boundaries. And their desires are beauty and harmony and justice. So remember, how you quantify these things is what will attract your people to you. And how you have overcome these challenges is going to give you those specifics that are going to show people the things that you are truly capable of helping them navigate. Scorpio Descendant is all about managing emotional intensity and control issues. Common other issues are feeling destabilized, having a fear of judgment, being overcome by shame, or like trying to avoid shame. Emotional overwhelm and really a lack of trust is a big one. Their desires are to grow, to get to that next level of growth, to feel like they have the freedom to pursue their genuine desires and passions free from judgment, and to feel validated and to feel seen and accepted in exactly who they are in every phase of their mess and their journey and their successes and their unique desires and unique self-expression. Sagittarius Descendant, key lessons are moderation, emotional honesty, and flexibility. Common issues are being a know-it-all, overindulging, or getting caught up in lots and lots of learning and not actually creating that momentum, taking action, and doing the do. Their desires are adventure, expansion, and growth. but doing it in alignment with really what's true for them. Capricorn Descendant, soul client key lessons are humility, contribution, and surrender. Common issues are being status obsessed and the tendency to be a workaholic. Their desires are efficiency and being well resourced, being wise and feeling like they're living on purpose, and really making space for their humanness and their emotionality in their process. Aquarius Descendant is all about self-acceptance, letting your freak flag fly, and embracing your weird. Common issues is that rebellion when it goes in the wrong direction, right? There's healthy rebellion, and then there's kind of rebellion for the sake of it that's not really attached to a clear mission and vision, which can end up in that like antagonistic energy that only pushes people away and can really lead to loneliness. So their desires are collective evolution, humanitarian problem solving, sharing new ideas, really being the revolutionary. So excite them with your leadership. And Pisces Descendant is all about having courage, tapping into and using their intuitive wisdom and really valuing their intuitive wisdom, creative expression, and having healthy boundaries around all of that. Common issues are leaky boundaries, lack of self-trust, undervaluing their self and work, and not being grounded. And the desires that drive them are connection, self-expression, and creativity. So your action step, just note down what insights are coming up for you. What themes are starting to pop out for you from your work? Are there any shifts in perspectives? Are there any new angles that are popping out for you as you connect with these insights? Get the worksheet, do a deep dive, do a lot of journaling on these ideas, and you might be surprised at some creative new ideas or some different offer positioning angles or some parts of your story that maybe you've never thought to tell before are going to become really freaking obvious for you. These are amazing, amazing ideas to go and translate into content. And that is the next action step for you to take, is to just go, start where you're at. It doesn't matter if this concept hasn't fully landed yet. Go and create a piece of content and share it with me. If you're in Voxer, you can share it with me for feedback and edit suggestions, or go ahead and send it to me on Instagram at SarahMacMagic so I can comment and support you. And remember, it can take time for these concepts and these ways of writing to really become second nature for you. So you've got to practice, use whatever prompts and resources are going to keep you on track and keep you focused to really integrating this way of sharing about who you are, sharing your story, and sharing your work. And you'll know it's working when dream soulmate clients start popping up in your inbox like, I want to buy your offer. I'm ready. So again, if that's something that you're ready to just stop wasting time around and get the support so you can directly make the moves, create the content that's going to get you paid, that's going to fill your offer, that's going to get you to those next big launch goals, please reach out to chat about how I can support you. You can join the mastermind. I have one-on-one coaching available. I have private intensives. I am here to support you. Do not let this be a time waster. You have incredible, powerful, potent, and needed gifts to share with your people. There are people out there on the internet shopping for somebody who has an offer just like yours. So let's get the positioning, let's get the storytelling, let's get the copywriting dialed in so it's just clear how freaking amazing you are, so we can make these connections happen between you and your compatible dream clients. And I'm absolutely the person to help you with that. So I can't wait to hear how this has been landing with you. Let me know your insights. Tag me on social. Thank you so much for being here. It's been such a privilege and an honor to share this with you. And stay tuned for more astrology, money mindset, and content focused content here on the Creative Magic Club podcast. And if you've loved this series, please go to iTunes and leave me a review. It really helps to support the show, to push it out there to more people who can benefit. I'm sending you so much love. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. For more inspirational content, head over to my website withsarahmac.com and please support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Are you a healer, witch, creative, or magical entrepreneur who's ready to fill your high-ticket one-on-one or group coaching program, and you want a sales page that will do the selling for you? Maybe you're tired of having a calendar full of sales calls and you want a sales page that can clearly articulate your offer and guide interested clients to feel ready to buy without needing to talk to you first. Maybe you already have a sales page and people are clicking on it but not reaching out, and you want to feel clear on what to say and what not to say to turn interested people into actual buyers. Having sales pages for my offers has led to filling a high-ticket group coaching program with 10 clients at $1,000 each while traveling on vacation for 2 weeks and launching using repurposed content. Having 5-figure months from sales into my $5,000 evergreen mastermind with no live launching beyond daily social media content. Signing clients into my $17,000 private mentorship program with no sales calls. When you book my Cosmic Sales Intensive, you'll walk away with a full, clear, compelling sales page for your high-ticket offer that will attract ready-to-buy clients and that you can continue to make sales with for years to come. Clients who have been through this offer have created a sales page that went on to sell out a high-ticket relationship coaching mastermind, had 20 applications within 48 hours of publishing, sold several $15,000 private mentorship packages, and even had a 6-figure launch with the sales page and content strategy we created within just a few weeks. Stop losing people with fluffy language that sounds the same as so many others in your industry, and clearly articulate why your work is worth $5,000 to $10,000 plus, even when you sell things like astrology, human design, breathwork, mindset coaching, or energy work. Book your Cosmic Sales Intensive now at withsarahmac.com or via the link in my description.